Hey there, it's Christian with a review of Ascension, Dreamscape. Now there are lots of different versions of Ascension. This is the first one that I've picked up and played, so I'm starting slightly later on, but I want to give you my sort of thoughts and opinions on this. This is quite simply fast and furious. As deck builders go, it's very similar to the kind of feel of maybe a Dominion or maybe a Marvel Legendary, those sorts of games. But I would say that this is probably simpler. However, the Dreamscape version of this adds a whole new element to Ascension. So I think what that's done is added a little bit of complexity that certainly from my research the earlier version of Ascension didn't have, and it was perhaps a little on the simplistic side. So what do I like about this then? Well, the theme is really cool. If you love cool heroic magical characters, if you like the feel of having big fantasy creatures to be fighting against, whether it's big dragon type things or evil undead type characters, we're looking at characters like Rust Gremlin or Puppet Master or the Fen Moor, which is a great big creature with an enormous mouth. There's lots and lots of cool theme and flavour and fluff in these. You can buy things like Fatality Blades, or you can set up a deluxe capacitor which allows you to get more Meccana constructs and all sorts of really cool cards in this. Because one of the things I really like about this is the theme is excellent. As in terms of the gameplay, like I said, it's really fast. You take 5 cards off the top, you look at what you've got. Can I buy stuff or do I want to attack stuff? Is pretty much what you're looking at. Apart from later on in the game when you might get enough resources to essentially be doing both in the same turn. Killing the monsters means you get this the honor stuff as in other Ascension games, and of course it's this honor stuff that allows you to win the game. Once the honor pool's empty, there you go, someone's going to win because you count up the victory point, the honor, that you've got from your honor pool, and also the honor that you've got from the cards that you buy, because each of these cards is worth a certain amount of honor points. So one of the things I think is amazing about this game is, yes, you have a hand of cards that you're generally using to buy these things in the middle with and build up your deck and make it more powerful, but it's these Dreamscape cards that give it the name, and this is almost like a second hand of cards that you have. It's a secret hand of cards that you have in front of you, and you can look at that at any time, but these are cards that you buy with another resource that's in the game, and that's this insight stuff. But these really cool sort of gem tokens. I love these things anyway, but these are really cool as well. You've got to be careful though. My little boy picks these up, toddler. They look like sweets. Be careful with those. But you use this new resource, this insight, to buy cards from out of what's here in front. And what's really cool is that some of those cards are they're instant speed effects. They're going to happen straight away when you buy them. So you actually have quite a number of options available to you. You start with 3 cards in that Dreamscape, but as you do things like acquire certain characters, heroes to fight for you, or kill certain monsters, you'll get other cards added to your Dreamscape, increasing these hidden secret sort of options that you can suddenly get to play it. And some of them are really powerful. Some of them will really do over an opponent. Some of them can draw insight from other players and stop them from being able to maybe play one of their Dreamscape spells that they were trying to build up insight to be able to play. Some of them do really powerful things, like you immediately are able to acquire all of the magical constructs that are in the middle of the board, or destroy half of another player's construct. They've got some really super powerful abilities, and what's great is because this game is quite quick. I mean, it as I said, it's probably 20 to 30 minutes to play through a round. It says 30 minutes on the box, and that's about right. It actually feels like a really cool crescendo, and then when something like that goes off, i.e. a big bomb, like you destroy half of your opponent's constructs or something like that, it feels like that's often a sort of a coup de grace. Now, you can recover from it. It's not necessarily the end of the game, but because it's only a 20 to 30 minute game, it's going to go through pretty quickly. And so you're not going to get many of these big plays. It felt like to me when I was playing through it that you'd have several turns building up, and suddenly it would all come together in your hand, and you'd have a super turn where loads of things would go off. Something would come out of the Dreamscape. You'd kill a monster and that did something else. You then replaced it on the track along the middle, and something else cool came out that you could buy, and then that would fire off all of your constructs happening, and all of these combos really came together and resulted in really cool turns. And I would say that at the end of the game, the last 2 or 3 turns that people get to play, there's loads going on. There's all sorts of insights being spent, honours being bought. You're all desperately trying to kill off the last monster, or trying to get another monster on the board, and who's going to get there first, and almost like a racing sort of element to it. It's really good fun. It is quite simple, but I think that's probably to its benefit, largely because sometimes you just want a nice straightforward fast game that you can play, but there's enough depth in this. There really is enough. Let's just have one more go, because I think if I just built it slightly differently, or if I'd just done this, that combo could have happened. And so that there's still that longevity, I think, that you can get from it. Quite apart from the fact, of course, there's loads of Ascension boxes out there, and that you can add other cards in. But I do get the feeling of, if you end up diluting your ability to get more of these Dreamscape cards, that might detract from the game a little bit. So I think this is great as a standalone box. Yes, I'll get more Ascension on the back of how good this was. Maybe that's what you need to hear. It's really solid. But I'm also quite happy to just play this from straight out of the box and really take advantage of the Dreamscape, which I think seems to be the really cool thing about this game. But yeah, great. It's thumbs up. Get it. Enjoy it.